added up to a phenomenal win.
And Kevin, you know, they showed how important it is to have a strong bench. I mean, when you are on the road, that depth is vital. I think they really utilized the second unit to extend their offensive assault and just really wore down their opponent.
And guys, I think what you saw from them throughout the game was teamwork. This is a team. Regardless of who was out there on the floor at any given time, they got it done. And that has to make you feel good as a group.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for San Antonio, the always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Aldridge out there, Kawhi Leonard. And it's Duncan in at the 5 spot.
Boy, oh boy, to be young again. My, oh my. You got me thinking back to my days.
Oh, yeah, right. It does make you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Well, speak for yourself, because I could never throw it down like that. But I will say, it sure looks fun, doesn't it? And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Outside Aldridge. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 of 4 here, still looking for their first make.
And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And listen, San Antonio is an older team, actually the oldest in the league last season. And because of injuries and days off, they didn't get to feel that preferred starting 5 a lot last year.
Spurs only used their preferred lineup less than half the season, but still a strong campaign. 22 games played with the starting lineup of Parker, Green, Leonard, Duncan, and Splitter.
And, you know, the Spurs will go on to use 23 different starting lineups, Kevin. That would be the 5th most in the NBA.
That is good.
Took a little time, but they get one to go. Maybe they're warmed up now.
For Boston, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. And DeRozan kicks to Okafor. That one's in, his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
How about 3 of 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Parker outside. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Aldridge a screen. Duncan, the pass to Green. And it's off from 3-point range. DeRozan kicks to Thomas, and it's Boston with another.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Now here's Parker. Ball's knocked loose.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And there's the feed to Crowder. Okafor against Duncan. Thomas gets a wide open look, and that basket pushes the lead to double digits. Thomas got 5 points so far. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Celtics leading by 9. And DeRozan. Here we go. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. And that's now 6 points for DeMar DeRozan. And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And really an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it came in an opponent's building, and there's no question it was their offense that carried them.
I love the way they went and got this game, Greg. I mean, they attacked at every opportunity, never relaxed or sat back, and as a result, they eventually pulled away.
You know what? They just are in a funk right now offensively. A good time to maybe come up with a play to get them a good look.
Well, most coaches, you know, we usually have a go-to speech or tactic that they can use when they need it most. So we'll see if that's the case here.
So Boston ends up going with a new group. Green kicks to Parker. Here's Aldridge. The shot is good off the backboard. Aldridge has got his first points of the game. Well, LaMarcus Aldridge Clark is bread and butter, that great jump shot of his.
Yeah, that's something that every big man needs. That high release, really tough to get to that shot.
And Bradley gets it to go.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put this one away early.
Smart with the ball. He's against Parker. Smart misses.
And I remember when Aldridge first went to college, I mean, he had that clumsy jump shot. But he injured his hip and had to sit out a season. And he spent all that time sitting on a stool and really perfecting his form. I mean, he said his shot went from garbage to amazing over the course of that season.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. Parker dishes to Leonard. Duncan with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Aldridge wide open, he fires. Rebound Boston.
And even though Aldridge is deadly from mid-range, he's also conscious of not settling. I mean, he'll use that threat to get inside, and he's even stepping out to shoot the three every once and again, but he's becoming an even more complete offensive threat. I still can't believe that one didn't fall.
Spurs trail by 10. Pass to Leonard. To the inside.
Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they are not backing off at all, are they?
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. And the Spurs with possession here after the basket by Boston. San Antonio again missing. Celtics leading by 12. Smart with the ball. He's coming off a 16-point game against Washington. Out to the wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Deep 2 from Rush. Rebound by Parker. Spurs trail by 12. Outside, Green feeds it to Aldridge. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Aldridge has got 5 points so far.
Well, the game's getting bigger, going international. But at least in the U.S., it really seems the game is going indoors. Back in the day, the legends of the game still played on the blacktop. That's becoming a thing of the past.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first. And speaking, Clark, of playground basketball, why do you think it is that players are going indoors?
Well, I think one reason is playing on hardwood is nicer. It's easier on your joints and safer overall. The game has changed and it's big business now, but there are still plenty of weekend warriors who get their hoop on outside.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Boston leading by 9. Here's Smart, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Releases. The top of the key jumper is on the mark.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
Mills can't hit.
That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Clark, a little disparity there in the rebound numbers, but some of that comes down to how the ball bounces. Let's see if it evens out. They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint. That's 2 straight quick three-pointers they've allowed.
Defense just not reacting with enough aggressiveness.
Pick by Zeller. And here's Mills. Anderson outside. West with the ball, and it's Johnson picking him up. And Smart with a clear path to the hoop. Lays it in off the breakaway. Smart's got 6.
Well, they've yet to string many stops together.
It just seems like they're a step slow today.
Diaw, the screen. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of him.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look for this lead to get even larger.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. He feeds it to Mills. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Smart leading the charge and laid in to finish the break. 8 points for him.
And they keep going down low with the ball and keep getting positive results.
Extremely positive. I mean, this is a very nice lead to have early in the ball game.
And a double-digit lead on the... And a chance to hear from DeMar DeRozan talking about his team's impressive play of late.
We all just playing together. You know, that's the biggest thing. Moving the ball, playing together on the defensive end. You know, just having trust in one another. You know, that's the bottom line. You know, once we play comfortable, go out there and have fun, we all clicking.
And DeMar is definitely a guy, Greg, that knows how to infuse that chemistry and teamwork on the floor. It looks like he's a big reason why they're clicking.
Kevin, no doubt. And attitude, such a huge factor in being successful as an individual, but really also as a team. I think we've seen him really embrace that attitude as he's matured as a player.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Celtics.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Isaiah Thomas out there at DeRozan. Then it's Jay Crowder. Then it's Jared Sullinger. And it's Okafor in at the center position. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. Diaw, the pass to Aldridge. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Jahlil Okafor. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting, his rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
Daniel Green, he's checked in for San Antonio. Parker comes in for Patty Mills. And Thomas, here we go. Kicks it to Okafor. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. And that's 10 points for Jahlil Okafor.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
Crowder kicks to Okafor. And again, it's Boston converted.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Parker dishes to Leonard. Aldridge a screen. Off the screen. That's good on the jump shot. Aldridge has got 6 in the quarter.
And guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebound.
Aldridge against Okafor. Clock at 6. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Spurs trail by 16. Parker passes to Leonard. The three-pointer no good.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
And DeRozan kicks to Thomas. Okafor with no one around. Drops in the tray. Okafor's got 15.
You know, what an advantage he brings to this offense, guys. I mean, being able to drain the three ball, that really can spread a defense and extend the defense as well. Well, so far for Coach Brad Stevens, the Celtics have had nothing but praise for their outstanding young coach. No surprise for those of us who know Brad. The team in the rebuilding process, and he gets a lot of the credit for that.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. the focus of the discussion was getting their offense to run through LaMarcus Aldridge. Coach would like to see him utilized in the offense as much as possible. We can expect to see them going to him constantly. I'm sure Coach is hoping those changes turn the tide in this game and shrink the deficit before halftime. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. And part of the reason why the Celtics are ahead of schedule in their rebuild is because of Coach Brad Stevens. He has everyone on the same page.
You know what? You're just astounded by his work ethic. People around the league think he's already a top coach and could be one of the greats by the time he's done if he stays at the professional level.
And DeRozan kicks to Okafor. Near the three-point line, it's Thomas, and another basket for Boston.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall. Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Outside DeRozan. There's the three. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. 9 points for DeMar DeRozan.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Duncan with the screen for Parker. Pass to Aldridge. And it's good off the back rim and in. Aldridge has got 18 points in the game.
He's simply a machine at the offensive end. I wonder how far behind they'd be if he wasn't having this kind of quarter.
Thomas dishes to Sullinger. Offline with his three. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Parker kicks to Leonard. Off target from outside. Boston leading by 22. The pass to Okafor. Down low, the wide open look here for DeRozan. And it's Boston with another.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
And Parker, here we go. And the wide open shot from Green. And the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
He's jammed himself up a little bit here with that second foul. But as long as he can avoid a third before the half, I think he's fine.
Some changes for Boston. Bradley comes in for Jared Sullinger, and Smart subbed in for Thomas. San Antonio also making some changes. West is checked in for Aldridge. Anderson comes in for Leonard, and it's Martin in for Green. Unloads from 9. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Well, last year for the Celtics, they weren't exactly world beaters at home. Still good enough, though, to get the job done.
Yeah, just a game over 500 here in Boston. Not great, but at least it was over 500 for a young up-and-coming team.
For San Antonio, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. Parker outside. Martin against Bradley. Duncan with the screen for Martin. Parker kicks to Duncan. The shot is off. Now Boston takes it the other way. And this game, the first chance they've had to see the San Antonio Spurs. And finished off by DeRozan.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch in how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim. You know, it's a plus to get good looks in the paint, and when you can get them, you got to score them.
Outside Bradley for 3. Good, and Smart gets the assist. 8 points for Avery Bradley.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they could have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, inland playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples.
Sellers checked in for Okafor. Urebko comes in for Crowder. Brandon Rush, he's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Rozier in for Smart.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
And it's Martin missing.
And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledged that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
Softly drops in the floater.
Assist from.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
Inside, here's Rozier. It's tipped, and they're able to recover. So as we conclude the first half, so far...
All right, Kevin, here with Tony Parker. And Tony, you guys have struggled offensively so far in this game. Why do you think it's been so tough to get into a groove here?
I don't know. We got a hard time to make a basket.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sport. Things were going Boston's way from the beginning, showing tremendous urgency and a ton of energy. They got out on a masterful 13-2 run to start out. Good work for them all around as they controlled the tempo, leading by 4. Well, that's all for now, as it looks like the second half is...
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You know, Jahlil Okafor has been exceptional here, guys.
You know, we talk so often about making your teammates better, and his ability to see the floor and then make those passes on time in that first half was the key.
Boy, I tell you what, they say he's not a playmaker, but he certainly has fooled me with the way he's performing right now.
On the floor for San Antonio, defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Aldridge out there with Duncan, and it's Parker in at the 1.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams and their effectiveness from the three-point line.
It has been pronounced, no doubt about it. Definitely a big factor to this point in the game.
Shot, high post. Here's Duncan, and it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got assist number 8 here in this one already.
And how good a playmaker has Tony Parker been? One of the best in recent history. The all-time leader in assists for the Spurs over his 14 years there. Just a crafty guy with the ball in his hand.
Okafor, the pass to Thomas. Jacks up a 3, and the Celtics hit again from deep.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the result.
Greg, that's 3 in a row from out there now, so they've got to do a better job contesting.
Duncan dishes to Parker. Looking for Aldridge, he gets it there. Screen by Duncan. And that one's good by Aldridge. And continuing our talk of Tony Parker, the first year he laced up his sneakers, he increased the tempo for that entire Spurs offense, and it continues to this day.
Yeah, and the increase in floor spacing and tempo, a big reason the admirals, Tim Duncan and Parker, won the championship together in 2003, and obviously Duncan and Parker have won a few more rings since then.
Crowder with the steal. The 3 from Thomas. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Here's Aldridge. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Aldridge has got 4 points in the quarter.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
And stolen by Aldridge. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Thomas against Parker. And the shot is good.
Oh, wow. 4 of 5 to start the half. Coming out on fire.
Thomas against Leonard. Now here's Thomas. 13 points in the game. And it's good. 25 points for Jahlil Okafor.
And a blazing start to the second half. They've hit all 5 shots.
Leonard sets a screen for Parker. Aldridge fires. Offensive rebound. Duncan. He misses it. He's 4 for 7 from the floor. For Boston, they've gotten every shot to drop since halftime. They're 5 for 5 from the floor. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And for Sullinger last season, further indication, Clark, that he needs to keep working on his conditioning.
And that was a concern coming into the league with Jared, is just how committed would he be to working on his body all the time and maintaining the level of conditioning that he needs. And injuries have been a part of that not being the case, but when he's out there, he's capable.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Johnson comes in for Okafor, and Marcus Smart is subbed in for Jay Crowder. Knocks it loose. Leonard kicks to Mills. Back to Leonard. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And talking about Sullinger, you wonder if he's been in the right scheme for the past couple of years. He's not a three-point shooter. He's a back-to-the-basket banger. You want proof? Only hit 28% from behind the arc last season, and that was his career high.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Leonard.
You know, on the topic of Sullinger, guys, he said publicly that people are doubting him. And he's right. I mean, until he gets in better shape and stays that way, there will always be questions surrounding that part of his game. Hopefully for him going forward, he can be more Duncan than Diaw in the way he treats his body.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Jerebko's checked in for DeRozan. And Bradley's subbed in for Isaiah Thomas.
Well, you know that Kawhi Leonard has an incredible reach with his arms, but even his... hands are just massive, measured at 10 inches long and 11 inches wide. Wow.
San Antonio making a switch here. West is checked in. Here's Aldridge. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Aldridge has got 24.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Well, to give some perspective on Leonard's hand size that Greg was talking about, Clark, those measurements, 11 by 10, are what you typically would find on 7-footers. Well, this kid's 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, and I'm 6'9", and I'm about 9 by 7, okay? So that just lets you know.
Wow.
The only other hands comparable to that, Dr. J.
Ooh, huge.
Assist from Patty Mills.
For Boston, they've gone as spotless. 6 of 6 from the field since taking the court here in the second half. Left side, Bradley. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Smart's got 3 assists tonight.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And, Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the other is just kind of stagnant.
Here's Mills. Shot clock at 5. And that one's good.
And turning down what would have been a tough shot for himself into an easy one for his teammate.
Dishes it to Smart. A three-pointer off the mark. For San Antonio, they've gone 7 of 10 on their field goal attempts here in the third. Ginobili kicks it to West. And here's Mills from the arc. Rebound, Boston. Sullinger's got 5 rebounds tonight. To the middle, here's Jerebko. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That one on Ginobili.
You know, I love how he absorbs the foul and still had a chance to knock that one down.
Boy, terrific play there. I thought even with all the contact, he still was going to get that shot to go down.
A different look now for San Antonio. Boris Diaz checked in for Aldridge. Kyle Anderson comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Martin in for Manu Ginobili.
And really a fantastic season for Sullinger last year. Really made some leaps forward, but missed a lot of time still due to injury.
Martin, the pass to Anderson. Right wing. Diaw with a wide open look. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
Outside Bradley. Passes to Sullinger. From 17 feet out. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Sullinger did continue to improve last year, Clark, but you can't ignore that he had to miss time once again.
Yeah, and you hope that he'll be able to stay healthy for a full year at some point. When he's on the floor, he's a hard matchup for just about every team in the league.
There's the dish to Smart. Sullinger against West. Right block shot, and Sullinger missing. The Spurs shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Now, here's Mills. He's guarded closely. West can't hit. Boston's gotten 12 of their points from long range in the third quarter, going 4 of 5 shooting. Bradley against Martin. There's 48 seconds left here in the third quarter. Anderson dishes to West. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Here's Bradley. Drills it from outside. Bradley's got 13.
Man, they came out smoking here from beyond.
And, Greg, as hot as they are from out there, absolutely no reason at all not to just keep letting them fly.
Mills can't hit.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Martin wide open. He fires, and the shot no good, a bit short. Shoots from the high post. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
And he beats the buzzer to end the quarter.
Terrific shot there. I mean, he was calm, he was poised.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. The Celtics shooting wonderfully up to this point, 67%. Zeller is out there with Amir Johnson. Then it's Rush, and it's Rozier in at the point guard position. That's the Boston 5. San Antonio with the ball. It's Ginobili on the wing. They set the pick. Down low, Marjanovic. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Ginobili's got his 3rd assist on the night. The Celtics really seemed to get better as last season wore on, too. GA finished the year looking very dangerous.
Kevin, with the Celtics, they were dynamite after the All-Star break. Had the 2nd-best record in the Eastern Conference post-All-Star.
Checking in for your Celtics,
Now here's Zeller. He's covered closely. And it's Okafor missing.
Those are chances. Almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Okafor with the steal. Here's DeRozan, and he bangs it home with one hand.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
That's good.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
And one thing we know is that across the board in the NBA, attendance is up all over. Franchise values are also at an all-time high. Overseas, the game continues to grow as well.
Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Nice shot by Ginobili. And the media deal in play says a lot about the popularity. It's not just broadcast. Fans are showing up as well.
Sellouts were at a record 700 last season, Kevin. The previous record was 676, almost 22 million regular season fans. That's a big number.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Miller, no luck. Celtics have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. And it's Okafor missing. The Spurs have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Here's Marjanovic. That's good.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Now here's Okafor. Guarded closely. Near the three-point line, it's Thomas. And another basket for Boston.
Well, I tell you what, when you get this kind of effort and efficiency from him, they're a really hard team to beat.
Miller kicks to Diaw. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, you hope that's not indicative of the type of D they're going to play, because if they do, they're going to have struggles with him tonight.
Miller kicks to Diaw. To the paint, here's Marjanovic. DeMar DeRozan grabs the board. DeRozan's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Okafor in the post. He's against Miller. Puts up the baby hook, and it's Okafor getting it to go. Okafor's got 27 points.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
And really, there is no resistance defensively right now. It is just far too easy.
The Celtics have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. Thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league fairly unpolished, struggled to handle the ball, freer than his own shot, and but sometimes he would create for others too. Yeah. But he's settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing the two. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I would have to say he's definitely been able to do that.
But they recover it. Marjanovic sinks that one from the post.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
And, you know, getting back to DeRozan, he's put a spit shine on his offense. Over the past 2 seasons, averaged over 20 points a game, was also good for 3 or 4 assists, showing everybody how work ethic can overcome unrefined skills.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Crowder. And Bradley's subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. Thomas kicks to Bradley. Pick by Zeller. The feed to Okafor. Off the pick. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
You know, for DeMar DeRozan, scary to think that he's still scratching the surface of his potential. Made his first All-Star appearance in 2014. Was a little dinged up last year, but still very effective. No doubt he's the real deal.
Well, some really terrific numbers for Okafor. 28 points, and he's buried a ton of three-pointers in this game, too.
I think we need a calculator to keep track of just how many of those he's knocked down. And you know, the new court projection visuals, all the rage in the NBA now. Instead of having to use a screen over the court, they just project video and images straight onto the... the court. I think before long, you'll see it everywhere.
Those court projections you see in the pregame, we don't even have the best angle for them. They're so good.
Yeah, nice perk for those sitting a little higher up on those or those watching TV. It's about putting on a show and at the end of the day, entertaining the fans.
Johnson, he's checked in for the Celtics. Smart comes in for Thomas. Last season, Clark, the Spurs kept on winning as usual. They passed the Lakers, in fact, for the best winning percentage all time for a franchise.
Well, some of that has to do with the struggles the Lakers had last season, but more of it is credit to the Spurs. Consistency and high-quality play has been who they are and have been for 2 decades. Physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. That plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, not to mention what it says on the scoreboard. They're really pushing them around. Straight bully ball.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. San Antonio's gone 0-3 so far in the 4th quarter from long range.
And with the Spurs and their winning percentage, it's right above 60. Not bad for a team that joined the NBA back in 1977.
And Smart the bucket on the assist by Rush. Rush has got 3 assists in the game. The Spurs have gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Stolen by Smart. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. Got a piece of it. 1:49 left to play in the final quarter. Leonard the pass to Miller. Here's Marjanovic. He's covered by Zeller. Here's Bradley. And another basket for Boston. And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for Boston.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
A lot of the Spurs' success, guys, with their winning percentage has come since the 90s. The way they are put together, who knows how high they can push that franchise winning percentage.
For San Antonio, they've gone through the 4th quarter shooting 50%, 7 of 14.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Celtics.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Okafor. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Now Smart. From the arc. No good. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. They won this game going away. They were the